Oh, my loves, how are you? Today we are going to dive into that part two from yesterday where it kind of left off around the Atlantis energies. And it felt like there was definitely some blind spots that were thawing in the heart space of the sacred feminine and the sacred masculine. And so we're going to go in and get a bit more support on that. I have been meditating on it and a few things that came through to share with you so that if this is resonating with you, that you can kind of meditate or pray on your own if you haven't been doing that so far. But a couple of the things that came through was actually focusing on the heart chakra. And if you guys have been here with me for a while, you've heard me speak about like the root chakra of the heart chakra and how the heart chakra sort of has all of the energies of all of the chakras within it. And this may be the case with all of the chakras, but we're specifically focusing on the heart space. And so just checking in with that within your own heart and asking to clear any distortion or any blocks or limitations or any places where you may have dissociated in the heart space. That's one thing that you can start to work on in a deeper way if you feel guided. Of course, I can support you in a session with that if needed as well. But I was also guided to direct you, if you're called, to ask and start to pray deeper in asking for a deeper understanding or information around your origin story, the creation of your soul, and how that may pertain to your divine counterpart connection. They may all have similarities, but it feels important that you each dive into your own direct connection and asking to get this information for yourself. If there's more that comes through that can support that process, by all means, I will share that with you. But those were some things that came through. And what felt exciting about this for me and what I was experiencing was that we've been working so deeply on those original core wounds and separation wounds that as we get deeper and deeper into that healing process and coming into our inner union, what happens is we're actually getting to the time and the space prior to all of the wounding. Okay. And this is a very important piece of remembering your true essence, your true origin, in the sense that even if it's just acknowledging there was a time before the wounds, before the separation, where things were in alignment and in harmony, and really calling in those original codes, those original genetics. Okay. So this might be stuff that we start to dive into more here on the channel or in sessions or in groups. We're going to see how things unfold, but it was coming through that in that heart space, in those energetic depths of the chakras is the genetic information. All of the things that you're looking for do live within you or within your subconscious. Okay, sometimes our subconscious fields, or oftentimes, right, like especially the way that we're living on this planet, a lot of our subconscious, like 90 to 95% of it, was suppressed. But actually, within your subconscious, as we unravel and dissolve and clear and retrieve and clean up any distortion or delusion, you get more and more access to your true information. Okay. And that is like where you're just peeling back the layers to get to the truth, which is why I often direct you all to go back to asking for your truth, no matter what it is. And what I have learned and how this can be so incredibly powerful to ask for the truth is to be willing to look at the truth within yourself no matter what. Okay. And even if you hit those places and spaces where some fears may come up, that's okay. But those are some of those places where you really want to ask for the truth and be willing to sort of see what's on the other side. If you're finding a pocket like this where you're not able to quite dissolve or thaw what's frozen or get through those, that's where it's important to go ahead and get yourself some support. And it can be me, but there's also many other beautiful souls that offer support. What really matters is that you find someone that you feel comfortable with and that you um, feel that you can dive into this work with. Okay. So trust yourself, calling in your higher power. And again, if you ever hit pockets with any of this, if you're uncertain if you need help, if you're uncertain that you want to work with someone, if you're uncertain that you have a block, just keep asking for the truth, loves. And it's really, I like to think of it as learning and deepening our ability to become a subconscious surfer. Because as we thaw out those parts of us that have been frozen or suppressed or inverted, right? We get to know more and more of who we are. We have more and more access to our true energy and our true life force. And it's kind of been coming through how they talk about the 12 strands of DNA, but then we're only having so-called like two that are active. No, the rest are not junk. That is all part of your actual capabilities. In my opinion, I do think many of us probably have more than two strands of DNA activated at this point. But there also seems to be a correlation within the twin flame divine counterpart dynamic where each twin may hold half of those genetics. Okay. I may talk about this more down the road, but right now I feel guided to give you all space to explore these concepts and these things for yourself because, like I've told you, there's nothing more powerful than finding this information for yourself. Even within the sessions that I do, many of the people who work with me are excited because, yes, I'm holding space. Yes, you're getting access to the work that I have done, which is powerful, right? But at the end of the day, your higher self and your soul is in control of what is occurring for you. And each and every single person who works with me is then opening up their own abilities. Okay, so again, it's not about necessarily Danielle's way. It's about holding space to allow your true essence, your true genetics, your true abilities and capabilities to come back online. And I believe why this Atlantis energy and the Lemurian energy comes up is because prior to the fall, we did have all of those essences and energies intact, okay? And the way things played out, depending on what your soul experienced, that's where we fell. We forgot our abilities, or honestly, in some cases, we became so afraid or disoriented or forgetful around who we actually were and what we were actually capable of, that what happened is that the fears are kind of overlaying over those abilities. And this is actually what I believe is happening with the general collective on planet Earth is that people have been suppressed and taught to be afraid of their true powers, of their intuition, of their own direct connection to source, right? They've been taught to have a middleman or someone that's like controlling their direct stream, which to me, if you are have been here with me for any amount of time, I feel it's most important that you are developing and strengthening your own stream, your own direct connection to source, your own direct connection to your higher power, your own deep direct connection to Mother Earth, your own direct connection to yourself, loves. And so, you know what? As I'm sitting here, we have the Sacred Circle of Love on Wednesday. And I don't fully know exactly what's going to happen in that circle. It is being offered this one time by donation if you would still like to join. But I do believe a big part of it is that we'll be going into a meditative activation transmission to deepen and strengthen the support of your own direct connection. Okay, loves. And I'm sure many other things will come into play with that. But if you want to try that out, please feel free to join. I know many of you have signed up and offered generous donations, and I appreciate you for that. But I'm really wondering if that's why so much of this essence and energy is coming forth with this thawing of the Atlantis Lemurian aspects so that you can sort of thaw out and move through any of those layers of trauma or pain or fear, right? So that you can get back to the true essence of your abilities and your origin and return your essence, your inner union back to your original blueprint, obviously also with all of the new gorgeous energy that is you now, right? So let's see what wants to come through around this. I do feel um guided. The other day, yesterday afterwards, after I worked for a little bit, I did pull another card from the Healing Waters and I left it in the box by itself because I thought it may become pertinent. And now I do feel guided to speak about it. It was the rainbow, sweet relief, new beginnings, a new way forward. And I feel it's pertinent because we're talking about all of the chakras, right? The rainbow of energies within our entire system, but obviously we're really focusing right now on the heart chakra. You may experience as you're going through this energies through your whole system, right? But the beauty of if you're uncertain about what to focus on, you can always bring it back to the heart space, right? Our heart space is the centripetal location. It's where our higher self and our human self meet, where our inner masculine and feminine meet, right? The heart is that point that all of those pieces of us, our logic, our intuitive, all meet together, okay? And so if you ever are in a space where you're not sure, bring it back to your heart space. Ask for the truth, loves. And I feel sometimes like I like to draw or just doodle, even. It feels like if you are not sure of what to ask or what to do with this information, you can even get out a notebook and some markers or some pencils or whatever have you, and just start allowing yourself to doodle. Like ask around the origin story or around your heart chakra if there's anything that you need to know. Allow the colors to speak to you, allow the symbols to speak to you. Maybe you write down words, maybe you start drawing things that you've never done. Just allow yourself to be in sort of a meditative, automatic state and give yourself space without judgment around whatever comes through. But this is one of the ways you can strengthen your muscle and your ability to build trust with what's coming through for you in the energies and what might be supportive for you. And even if you don't know what any of it means right away, it'll be there. And you may find over time that bits and pieces of the puzzle or the picture or the story come together deeper and deeper for you. But I also love that this feels important because it does feel like the collective is reaching this pivot point and we're moving into the energy of a very new beginning. And I'm thinking that's why the sacred circle is on May 1st. Even for me, that I've done the sacred circle of love in the past, there's something about this circle on May 1st that feels sort of like a completion and also a new beginning, like the completion of the circle and a new one begins. So I'm very excited to share that space with you and see what comes through. Because the way that I work with these messages here on the channel, but also how the group works, is that we're co-creating it in the higher energies. That's why I say it's a co-creative process. So as you are setting your intentions around what you would like support with, right? Collectively, we're working on that together as we come into the sacred circle in a physically manifested way on Zoom, right? Or if you're intending things and you are wanting to work on it and then you like book a session, many people who work with me will feel that they start to feel the support of the energy as soon as they set that intention and make that commitment for themselves. Okay. So you can take these same principles and apply them to whatever you're doing. You can just commit to listening and trusting your higher self in a new way. You can commit to this new beginning and to stepping into your full rainbow of power and energy and essence, and allowing yourself to recover all of those codes from all of your genetics, from all of your DNA, from all of your cosmic origins, and from all of your experiences throughout your existence since back to when you were created, right? All of that information is available to you, loves. It's just learning how to tap into it, learning how to access it, learning how to trust yourself within it. And I know some of you are doing it, but it also feels important to speak on it because I also know that there's many of you that are also opening up to these energies, and many of you that are starting to open up to that realization that you have those origins that are, yes, of this planet, but also of other times and dimensions and places and spaces. And as you're tapping deeper into these, it's very, very helpful to have that bridge of trust with your own essence. Okay. So if there's anything that's been holding you back a little bit with that, or if you feel like when you touch on these core wound or Atlantis Lemurian type of energies, that you're not able to sort of break through those, again, ask for the truth energy and give it some space and grace, right? And if you're still feeling like you're having some blind spots, get yourself some support. That is actually what I did over this past weekend because I was aware myself that I felt like this was some core wound stuff coming up. And as much as I've done, and as much as I already knew that, there was just so much coming up in my system. I did need support to allow it to thaw in a way. And then I was able to start to unravel it and dive deeper into the understanding. Okay. So I don't suggest you do anything that I'm not willing to do myself, loves. You feel me? So there you have it. I'm going to read from the book for this one, The Rainbow Sweet Relief New Beginning. Let's see what we got. There are countless myths from all corners of the world that feature rainbows. In most cases, the rainbow symbolizes a bridge between heaven and earth and is a sign of good fortune. Perhaps the most widely known story comes from Irish folklore. It's said that there's a pot of gold waiting at the end of the rainbow, guarded by a leprechaun. What came through to me immediately as it was speaking about that, the bridge between heaven and earth, is thinking about you and your body and or your heart, right? We were talking about that being the bridge. So to me, it's more confirmation around the importance of allowing yourself to align with your internal array of rainbow energy, right? Like all the frequencies and colors and sounds of who you are, the whole entire rainbow. I think we touched on this a few weeks ago as well, like clearing any distortion around our resistance to all of the rainbow energy. In Norse mythology, Bifrost, the rainbow bridge connects Earth with Asgard, home of the gods. Ancient Japanese folklore says the rainbows are bridges the ancestors of humans took to descend to Earth. In the Old Testament, book of Genesis, God set a rainbow in the sky as a comforting symbol to humanity that he will never again destroy the earth with floods. This is really interesting because when I used to do the sacred circles of love locally, almost every single time we would have a circle, there would be a rainbow in the sky or the rain. Yeah, there was like just different, even just those, I can't, some people call them sun dogs, where it would just be the circle around the sun with the rainbow. In fact, I saw one of those Friday, a few days ago. So for me, the rainbow energy really did become synonymous with the circle even back 5, 6 years ago when I started it. In the oracle, the rainbow is here to comfort and reassure you that the future is full of hope. If you've been going through a challenging time lately, the rainbow is your sign that there are clearer skies ahead of you. Rest deeply in the knowledge that the rainbow brings with it a feeling of sweet relief and a simpler future. There are new beginnings beckoning you forth. There's a clear and vibrant way forward, and the path is steady with opportunities to deep joy, safety, comfort, and peace. And it feels like, in a sense, we become the portal for the rainbow energy, a portal for the rainbow bridge. And I love how it's bringing me full circle to one of the messages I got when I started this channel, which talked about the initiation of the twin flame initiation being what activates our chakras and ignites us into this clearing transformational process, right? And then I was shown that as it clears and as we align, and our chakras come into balance and harmony, it's sort of like coming into a twin ray energy where you're clear and the energies are moving through in a much more clear way as the distortion has cleared out. And then I was shown as like a rainbow ray is where everything is like a full true rainbow portal running through all of the chakras from the higher connection down into the earth. And so this feels like the energy that we're working on. And if it resonates with you, please use it or work with it in whatever way connects for you. But again, I'm excited that we are reaching these places and spaces. And I hope that these messages have been helpful to support you in unraveling and thawing and clearing any of those protective mechanisms in your system that were necessary at one point, but now you're ready to transmute out of and step into who you are much more fully, my loves. And I hope you enjoyed this. I would love to hear from you again, of course. I'm going to drop in the comments yesterday's part one. My schedule and also the Sacred Circle of Love is on that schedule. So if you would like to join, please go ahead and do that. And I look forward to seeing you soon, loves. Hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. Love you. Bye.